turn to 188 and come, whoever you are. Come, wherever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come and again, come. You guys are with me. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Come, whoever you are. A little messy, that's okay. Community is messy, and we meant it when we said, come, whoever you are. You are welcome here at Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society, regardless of your race, religious background, gender orientation, or whether you like apple pie or not. You're still welcome here. We may sing and talk about things that resonate with you, and that's great, because that means you are among friends. Or we may sing and talk about things that puzzle you and seem a little odd, and that's great. That means that we have something to talk about as we become friends. I happen to have this really odd and unpopular notion that we should call ourselves the Pitabagua Universalist Community. Pitabagua because that's the name that the Abenaki gave the waters that are between us and the Mohawk. And it was Pitabagua millennia before Samuel Champlain came along and put his name on it to claim it for Europeans. And I'd love it if we modeled that kind of justice, way of listening to the indigenous people. I also like being universalist. The universe is a beautiful, whirling, expansive mystery that does not care about American politics. Oh, did I need to remind myself that I'm a universalist, a person without borders this week? Oh, it was really a good way to be grounded, and I trust that today will be a way for all of us to be grounded. And we say society, universalist society, and I like to say community. I like to say community because it's got with unity in there, that we do this together. The only one that I have trouble with is Unitarian, because I'm fairly new to this, and I don't know what a Unitarian really is. I know what a vegetarian is. I'm a vegetarian, and I don't eat much meat. And so a Unitarian must be somebody who only eats 1 unit of a serving. So when people come over and they say, would you like seconds on apple pie? You say, no, I'm a Unitarian. I'll just have 1 slice. Thank you. I'll just be 1 human then. Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to Pitabagua Universalist Community. I am Liam Greenwood, Battjes, your quirky worship associate, and I do have a sense of belonging here sometimes. And then my insecurities show up, and I lose sight of it, and then I reclaim it. You've probably felt that I'm reclaiming that sense of belonging right now. But all of the people who put to worship together have, for the most part, a sense of belonging until their insecurities show up, because they're also human. We have the amazing Reverend Christina Sillari leading us in worship, and I just love her earthy, colorful spirituality. And then there's Julia Santerre, our religious exploration coordinator, and she is such a vivacious educator and parent. And there's the people who work with our RE program who just love and delight in the energy of our children, the tech crew back there who manage all of the electrical gadgets that are part of this service, and there's the flower buds who manage all the organic gadgets that we put in vases, and there's the social hour volunteers, which the choir, that herd of vocalists that you heard last week, are now the herd of culinary experts downstairs setting up for social hour. All of them belong. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, Miles. I forgot somebody. Miles Zarathustra, our guest accompanist today. And not only did I forget you, your name in the program isn't right. So if everybody has a pen, Miles Zarathustra spells his name with lowercase letters like E.E. Cummings. So small m, small z. And the S has a little upside down rainbow over it that makes it go shh, Zarathustra. Now that's an important way of getting to know somebody, to know how they'd like their name and their pronouns. So that's part of building community. If you'd like to be part of our community, then fill out a blue card and make sure we get your name and your pronoun right and how we'd like to stay connected. If there are things that are happening in your life that you want us, at least the caring team, to know about, put it on a pink card, because we want to care for each other. That's community. And if there's something that we can all celebrate and share, because I got a really good one later, surprise, building suspense. But put that on a yellow card and put it in the offering plate. And then we get a chance to celebrate aspects of community. Oh, take a deep breath. Turn off your cell phones or put them on airplane mode or worship mode. Take another deep breath. Smile at somebody who's wearing the same shirt you are. And then smile and say to yourself, I am here. You are here. I belong here. Today, I belong here. We belong here. And now let's light our chalice and remind ourselves why we are here. In these wild, historic, and uncertain times, we gather to remember who we are, who we belong to, and what we are called to do. As we light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the great turning, the movement for justice alive in this nation today. May we feel it. May we feel it in our bones. You're going to get it. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. It's coming. May we feel it in our bones, and in the stillness of this hour, may we sense it calling our name.
Thank you, Liam. Good morning. Morning. Our opening words are by Starhawk from her book, Dreaming the Dark, Magic, Sex, and Politics. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up when we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. Let's sing in the gray hymnal. Words will also be on the screen, number 346. Come sing a song with me.
Hello. It's good to see you all this morning. I am Julia. I am the Religious Exploration Coordinator here at CVUUS. And today I'm going to tell you a story instead of reading one, which is new for me. So we'll see how it goes. But I really love this story, so I hope you will too. So let us gather our thoughts, get ready to use our imaginations, and we'll begin. There was an old woman who was nearing the end of her life. And as she went to sleep one night, she saw a bright light and was transported into another realm. She did not pass at this time, but she returned to her bedside to find her family gathered around her. She smiled at them, and she said, "I have seen the hereafter." "The whereafter?" asked a child. "The hereafter. I have seen both heaven and hell." The old woman went on to explain, "I went through a door labeled hell. When I went through, I was confounded, for I was in a beautiful, magnificent hall, and there were people surrounding banquet tables that were piled high with delicious food. Was there brisket?" asked a grandchild. "Yes, there was brisket." "Was there pie?" asked another. "Yes, pie and every delicious food you could think of, and it smelled so good. But when I looked at the people, they looked miserable. They were sad, they were emaciated, they were kind of grumbling at each other. And I was wondering why when I noticed they had really, really long spoons. I had never seen a spoon this long in my life. And so when they could scoop out the food, they couldn't get it to their mouths, so they were taking in no nourishment, and they were starving. Well, I left this horrid place, and I went through the door marked heaven. I stepped through, and I was in the same magnificent hall, with people surrounding the same banquet tables piled high with the same delicious smelling food. But this time, the people were happy. They were contentedly chatting with one another. "So in heaven there are small spoons?" asked a child. "No, no," said the old woman. "They still had those very, very long spoons, the same ones as in hell. But as I watched, I saw a woman dip her long spoon in a bowl of stew and feed the man across the table from her. Once he was satiated, he thanked her and returned the favor. It was then I realized the difference between heaven and hell. It is not the quality of the place, nor the abundance of the resources, but rather it is how people treat each other. In hell, they wouldn't feed each other, they would rather go hungry than feed each other that they didn't care for. In heaven, we feed each other. We trust that we will be fed, and no one goes hungry." I think that's a lovely story Christina suggested for belonging. And children are now welcome to come with me to Fen House. We have some awesome adults over there, and we're going to have some fun. And everybody else can go ahead and sing the children out.
Oh, that's okay. You can keep shining. That's good. I'm going to insert this little invitation that I didn't plan on until this morning. Our social hour is a great place to practice that vision of heaven where we care for each other and feed each other. That's just great. I want to really encourage and invite somebody to be in charge of that, to actually coordinate our social giving and who's doing what, because we are a generous people. But we just need a person who will help coordinate all of our generosity. Right now we've been leaning a lot on Alan and Mike, and Mike's going to be out of commission next month, and Alan would like to hand the baton off to someone else. And so just think about it. Think about it, because it really is a valuable way of building community, a very tangible task, but it is a task. There are other ways of building community, pathways to connection that are listed in your bulletin. I'll briefly say, hey, you can hike with us today. We're hiking Mount Philo, which means love and compassion. Philo, brotherly love. It's also game night on Friday. Talk to Mike about that, or myself. It's parents' night out on Saturday. And then there's a survey about our search for the pastor, and then that search team is going to be leading worship. Next Sunday, there's a book group by Andrea about love and finding love in a messed up world. So there's all kinds of ways of connecting, but there's one that I think is the most important. And that is, you are a pathway to connection. Each one of you, as you connect to each other, as you listen to each other. And so I'd like to read to you from Turning to One Another by Margaret Wheatley, which is really an invitation for all of us to be a pathway to connection. There is no power greater than a community discovering what it cares about. Ask what's possible, not what's wrong, and keep asking. Notice what you care about, and assume that others will share your dreams. Be brave enough to start a conversation that matters. Talk to people you know. Talk to people you don't know. Talk to people you never talked to. Be intrigued by the differences you hear. Expect to be surprised. Treasure curiosity more than certainty. Invite everybody who cares to work on what's possible. Acknowledge that everyone is an expert in something. Know that creative solutions come from new connections. Remember, you don't fear people whose story you know. Real listening always brings people closer together. Trust that meaningful conversations can change your world, and rely on human goodness. Oh, and definitely stay together. You are our pathways to connection. Blessed be. Our offering today is shared with Addison Allies. Mike does some volunteer work with United Way, and he gets to know these nonprofit agencies. Addison Allies provides medical, dental, a lot of care for migrant workers, counseling, support, transportation. But it's not a bunch of privileged white people doing this. It's community doing this. 70% of their board is made up of migrant workers or people of minorities. So it's what we're doing together. We are allying with our neighbors who are doing the hard work on the farms and making our life possible. May we give as generously as possible.
Okay. Just getting these cards oriented in my awareness. So for those of you who are new or fairly new, these yellow cards, anybody can write a milestone or a passage on these and put them in the basket during the offertory. You could hand one to the worship associate or minister even at the beginning of the service. So this is also a way to connect with each other, right, in community. Okay, this message is from Marnie Wood, who's part of many things here, but currently is ushering and part of the welcoming team, and she wants to lift up the crop walk, Addison County's Walk for Hunger, globally and locally, the first Sunday in October. So that would be in a couple of weeks. Come and walk and donate to support others. And if you want to know more about it, you can see Marnie, who's standing in blue at the back of the sanctuary. Thank you, Marnie. This is from Andrea Sambrook, holding space and love for my mom, who called herself an ambulance because of chest pain last night. Awaiting more details, but we are in contact and hoping for good news. So, Andrea, can I ask you what your mom's name is? Can we just all send some love and healing to Andrea's mom, Suzanne, for a moment? May Suzanne receive our blessings. This is from Ann Christie. What a delight to see Lori Borden, fellow congregant who has moved out west, walk into Fenn Chapel last week. She was here for a couple of quick days. Some of you are nodding. Lori asked me to share with you how impressed she is with all the great things CVUUS is doing and the nice renovation of Fenn Chapel. If you don't know what Fenn Chapel is, it's the building next door, which looks like a house, and the staff have offices there. RE has their classrooms there, and there is a renovated little chapel that we have meetings in. Lori still Zooms our services. So this is from Neil and Julie Chippendale. Our son Brian Chippendale was recently interviewed about the art scene in Providence, Rhode Island by the local PBS station. It's available on YouTube. Search Underground Providence, Rhode Island, and you'll find it. And last but not least, I'm going to try to get this correct. Casion Zephyr Lewis. Casion Zephyr Lewis was born September 11, 2025 by our granddaughter, Moira. The result is our first great-grandchild. All is well. This is from Paul and Frances. Yay. And let's just take a moment to have a breath and go inside our own minds and hearts and lifting up the milestones and passages that we are carrying right now in our lives or in other people's lives, bringing them to our awareness, lifting them up in joy or lifting them up for healing or support. May all of our joys and sorrows bring us deeper into connection with ourselves and one another. We're going to stay in this contemplative space. And I just invite you, if you feel comfortable, to uncross your limbs, sit up tall. Maybe lower your eyelids and just come into a place of rest, fully arriving in your body. Taking a deep breath, if you like, connecting with the earth, cosmos, the sacred land we occupy in this beautiful space. I'm going to read Eagle Poem by Joy Harjo, first Native American United States Poet Laureate. And after I read her poem, we'll spend some time in silence. To pray, open your whole self, to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. And know there is more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know except in moments steadily growing, and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this. And breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born, and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like eagle rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty. Thank you, Miles. Just want to say hello to those of us joining on Zoom. Hello, Zoomers. So I grew up in a poor working class city outside of Boston. Some of you know that, in a two-family house. And my maternal grandmother lived downstairs on the first floor, and my paternal grandmother lived across the street. Aunts and uncles and cousins were part of my regular existence. My extended family was everywhere and always there. The religiosity of Catholicism and Greek Orthodoxy and my European heritage set the stage for the cultural and moral context of my life. I knew I was blessed to experience a deep sense of family and community, especially as I witnessed the absence of love and community in other families. But as I got older, I felt trapped and isolated in this bubble of belonging because I felt different and separate than my tribe in so many ways. So I began to compromise who I was so I could belong. I hid my sexuality, my spirituality, my curious and open-hearted views of the world so I could fit into my tribe, so I would not be cast out. As Brené Brown writes in her book, Braving the Wilderness, our desire for connection and love runs deep, so much so that we may compromise who we are in order to belong. Have you ever molded yourself to your family or a situation or a community instead of really being your authentic self? You don't have to raise your hand. If you have, you know that it doesn't really create true connection, right? And we can end up feeling lonely or lonelier. So as I matured towards adulthood, went to college and gained independence, dissonance developed between my family's values and mine. So much so that they did actually cast me out for a while. My worldview was evolving and I was becoming more of who I am, and I no longer felt like I fit comfortably within the culture and community I was raised. But there was a problem. I didn't fit anywhere else. Right? I always had a few close friends who made me feel like I belonged, but I wanted more. I wanted to belong to something greater than a few people who were like me. Or, in the words of Irish poet John O'Donoghue, my hunger to belong was not merely a desire to be attached to something. It was rather sensing that great transformation and discovery become possible when belonging is sheltered and true. So in my longing to belong, I explored many different spiritual and religious communities, finally finding Unitarian Universalism as a religious tradition that could embrace almost all of me, but most of me. Not belonging is one of life's greatest sufferings. We need to belong like we need air, food, and water. Like a newborn needs its caretakers to survive, like the people with the long spoons need one another to feast. And science has shown that loneliness harms more people than things like smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. Loneliness is the biggest predictor of physical health, mental health, and early death. Belonging to someone or something is medicine for loneliness. In postmodern culture, when families are separated and busyness prevails, when consumerism propels us towards individualism and technology pretends to unite us, but separates us more than we know, there is an even deeper hunger for belonging. An increasing majority of people feel isolated and marginalized in our society. And society is actually losing the art of fostering community. In his book, Eternal Echoes, Exploring Our Yearning to Belong, John O'Donohue writes, "The global village has no roads or neighbors. It is a faceless limbo from which all individuality has been abstracted. From this perspective, it seems that we are in a huge crisis of belonging. When the outer cultural shelters are in ruins, we need to explore and reawaken the depths of belonging in the human mind and soul." So I ask you, to whom or what do you belong? I belong to my daughter, my husband, my friends, our faith, my colleagues, my shamanic community, the earth, and you. And yes, I still belong to my family of origin, even though we're still very different. A few months before my dad died, I asked some family members this very question at dinner. To whom or what do you belong? Uncle George said, celestial being. Brother Stephen said, my cat Tahiti. My mother said, first my grandchildren and then my children. My father had the most interesting answer. He said, no one, nothing. I belong to myself, he exclaimed. And then I recalled an interview that Bill Moyers had with Maya Angelou when she said, you are only free when you realize you belong no place, you belong every place, no place at all. When asked if she belonged to anyone, she replied, more and more I belong to myself. I am certain that my father did not know who Maya Angelou was. And I don't think he understood the implications of what he said to me that day. But the beloved poet and my beloved father knew something. What does it mean to belong to oneself? Perhaps it means living from our own authenticity, our own longings, our own callings, without fear that we will be rejected. The only true belonging that exists and the connection that underscores everything else and all relationships in life is that powerful sense of belonging to ourselves. So often we are trying to belong elsewhere that we turn our backs on this most important aspect of belonging. When we belong to ourselves fully, we are willing to stand alone in the wilderness, a place full of risk and possibility. So I ask you, do you belong to yourself? Perhaps unless we belong to ourselves, believe in ourselves, really accept and appreciate our own being, then we cannot really feel a sense of belonging to something greater than ourselves. So how do we get to that place of feeling sovereign and sacred in our own being? So that we can gather as one global village of community and friendship. It goes both ways, because anyone who has experienced trauma, especially cultural trauma, knows that belonging to more than oneself is necessary to survive, right? Listen to Elie Wiesel's poem, Safe Passage. You've probably heard it. No one is as capable of gratitude as one who has emerged from the kingdom of night. We know that every moment is a moment of grace, every hour an offering. Not to share them would mean to betray them. Our lives no longer belong to us alone. They belong to all those who need us desperately. Who needs you desperately? And are you desperately in need? Either way, belonging can help us heal and connect our individual and collective wounds. This is why some of us come to church. This is why I come to church. Because I need you. I need you to fulfill my calling. I need you to grow and be in relationship with. And you need each other. Some of you may already feel you belong here, right? I know, Liam, well, that was great, Liam, what you said, right? Goes in and out, but some of you feel like you belong here. And if you do, your task is to cultivate a culture of belonging for others. Some of you probably don't feel like you belong here yet. You cannot sit idly waiting to belong. You have to take a risk. Listen once again to the words of Brené Brown. This is a long quote. Quote, "Stop walking through the world looking for confirmation that you don't belong. You will always find it because you've made that your mission. Stop scouring people's faces for evidence that you're not enough. You will always find it because you've made that your goal. True belonging and self-worth are not goods. We don't negotiate their value with the world. The truth about who we are lives where? In our hearts. Our call to courage is to protect our wild heart against constant evaluation, especially our own. No one belongs here more than you." End quote. So one powerful way to create space for belonging, which was lifted up in Margaret Wheatley's words that Liam read, is through listening. Listening is a powerful gift we can offer each other. The silence in us is a gift. Not the kind of silence that is filled with unspoken judgment, but the kind of silence that is a place of refuge, of rest, of acceptance, of someone as they are. Our silence, our listening is the space in which our discovery of our belonging begins. For me, belonging is sort of like a call to action. It always has been. It pushes me to get involved and to step into difficult situations, to look at the parts of myself I don't like, to dance in the eye of a storm, like a storm of conflict. My longing to belong invites me to face my fears, to be vulnerable, which is so hard for me, not just to step up when I'm needed, which is easy for me, but to reach out when I am in need. In her extensive research, Brené Brown discovered that there are 4 powerful elements of true belonging. They're really good. Okay. People are hard to hate close up. Move in. I'm going to swear, just warning you. Speak truth to bullshit. Be civil. Hold hands with strangers. And the last, strong back, soft front, wild heart. Should I read them all again? People are hard to hate close up, move in. Speak truth to bullshit, be civil. Hold hands with strangers. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. A lot of power in those words, right? These 4 elements could be a daily practice. Imagine what the world would be like if we all practiced that. We practice true belonging. The truth is we all belong to humanity and this earth. And I think once we can really understand the almost lost message of our indigenous elders when they say, quote, "And while I stood there, I saw more than I can tell, and understood more than I saw, for I was seeing in a sacred manner the shape of things in the spirit and the shape of all shapes, as they must live together like one being. Then, perhaps, we will open our whole selves to the healing and freedom of belonging, our belonging to ourselves, to each other, and our great mother, Earth. May it be so." I'm going to sing 128, "For All That Is Our Life." invite you to remain standing, unless you want to sit. If you need to sit down, that's fine. And hold hands with a stranger. Okay, our closing words are by Wendell Berry, and they're called What We Need Is Here. Geese appear high over us, pass, and the sky closes. Abandon, as in love or sleep, holds them to their way, clear in the ancient faith. What we need is here. And we pray, not for new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and in eye clear. What we need is here. We can sit down now, and Liam is going to extinguish our chalice as we say aloud the words in the OS or on the screen. We extinguish this flame, remembering always to keep love at the center. Please enjoy the postlude. Please join us for a social hour downstairs for coffee and conversation, and have a beautiful day.